Disgusting. Michael Moore is back with nasty demand for white males, forgets he won. Blabbering filmmaker Michael Moore is sick of white guys, even though he is a white guy. He gave a speech in New York last night that addressed his disdain for the white American male, which must include himself because he white too, just like a beluga whale. The ultra-liberal was in attendance at the fake State of the Union that was for the people, even though the real State of the Union is tonight. His speech at the fake State of the Union was for people who mostly dislike Trump, was racist towards white people, and most people didn't know he was doing this until we reported on it because it's so hilarious and silly. Moore has bowling ball-sized marbles rattling around in his empty head right now, so it was no shock that he called for America to be cleansed of white male privilege. Gasp now, laugh later. But Michael Moore is sure to set your heart on fire and get your commenting finger ready like a hair trigger on an AR-15. If you are not prepared to comment now, then you will be in about 2 minutes when you done laughing hysterically at the Jabba the Hutt stunt double. His address was more about the top wealthiest people in the country, who are mostly white, trying to talk to ordinary people like us like we have any privileges at all. Michael Moore, the white male millionaire, was talking about white male privilege. Funny, right? InfoWars reported Moore on the fake State of the Union, asserting that the removal of Donald Trump and Mike Pence from office still wouldn't be enough. Moore said, "We must remove and replace the system and the culture that gave us Trump in the first place." He did not just fall out of the sky and land in Queens, Moore continued. He is a result of us never correcting the 3 original sins of America, a nation founded on genocide, built on the backs of slaves and maintained through the subjugation of women to second-class citizenship and economic disempowerment. As we seek to rid ourselves of Trump, we must also cleanse our American soul of its white male privilege, its voracious greed. He added, "The angry white guy is dying out, and the Census Bureau has already told us that by 2050, white people are going to be the minority, and I'm not sad to say I can't wait for that day to happen. I hope I live long enough to see it because it will be a better country," said Moore. It not that white guys are angry, it that white guys are becoming smarter and more keen on the games played in politics. It that people, in general, are tired of living in a country where everyone is offended by everything. If I want to make a rude joke once in a while, then I should be able to. If I want to remind everyone that there are only 2 genders and everything else is fake, then that should be okay. If I want to point out that the Women March is a huge joke and most of the people there are overweight or unattractive, and angry, then that should be fine. It not considered anger if it true. Stating facts does not mean someone is angry. Facts don't care about feelings, nor do facts have feelings. Facts are just statements that are true. When half the women at the march look like Michael Moore, then apparently my observation is correct. When the women there are intolerant of other women who are pro-life, then remind us again where the anger and intolerance really is. It not on the right, that for sure. Michael Moore might think the typical white male is angry, but at quite the opposite. The angry people are the Democrats and hardcore liberals. They preach tolerance and don't tolerate anyone. They always mad, protesting, and unhappy with things. They want the people of America to believe in their fantasy world made up genders and ideologies, but when we disagree because they are fake, then they get mad at us. Why do we need to pretend that there are 50+ genders when there are only 2? Why do we need to pretend that a 6-foot man in a dress is a woman when it got a voice deeper than the lowest note on a piano and a 12-inch python around its neck? The snake, folks, the snake. InfoWars continued their coverage. The filmmaker, who previously compared Trump supporters to rapists, followed that up in December by bragging about how white people were outvoted in the Alabama Senate election. Moore call for the removal of Donald Trump and Mike Pence has been an ongoing obsession ever since the election, with 0 success. Back in March, the far-left board called on Democrats to declare a national emergency, claiming that President Trump and his staff are guilty of espionage. Despite supporting Bernie Sanders during the election campaign and criticizing Hillary Clinton for being a warmonger and a Goldman Sachs-owned career politician, Moore suddenly endorsed Hillary and has been a major driving force behind anti-Trump hysteria ever since.